Hello and welcome to the 20th episode, the big 2-0 of the Gochuucast. And today, we are huffing a very large amount of copium as we put this topic on the list, but we are so inadequately prepared to talk about it, but we're going to do it anyway. Live action anime, which I guess it's not even like anime at that point, you know?
It's like dot, but it's based on
TV,
anime,
bro.
so it's like its own
it's not
thing
live
almost at this point.
Has there ever been a genuinely good live action anime? I don't know about that.
I think there's been like some okay ones. Like I think
There's been a lot of top 10 lists.
The Assassination Classroom one was decent.
Yeah,
I've heard like the only one
but I think the problem is even the ones that would be considered like the better ones are still kind of subpar to a lot of people. Yeah. I've heard good things about the Rurouni Kenshin ones.
I think Alita Battle Angel is like the only one I haven't heard like completely shit on.
Rurouni Kenshin is also like ancient, so it's either you're watching 1960s animation or you're watching 2010 live action. So it's a
1960s animation hits, bro. That 3 FPS.
I think Rurouni Kenshin's, I don't remember what year it came out, but I know it's pre-2000.
Yeah.
It looks good. I feel like I would enjoy it if I watched it, but I also feel like I've been spoiled too much with good animation to like really enjoy some of those really old shows.
Yeah. I think well, I guess like there's like two main issues or like things I can think of for like why people may not like it. Other than like, okay, low quality. Like I guess the number one thing is like anytime you adapt something, I guess we've talked about this before, but like anytime you adapt something, there's obviously going to be like some artistic liberties or ruining the story. Either way you want to put it. So it's always going to be there. And then like the second thing is like I've seen some sets. Like I was watching a lot of YouTube videos of like of some live action stuff. I think I saw like the One Piece one. One Piece like
there's a One Piece show coming out in probably in 2023, but I don't think there's officially a release date yet. Which actually all this stuff from the One Piece show looks really promising.
Yeah,
but it's still like under the umbrella of like, oh, it's live action. So like,
the sets look like some of the sets look really good. So it's like, well, they're like putting some sort of budget or some sort of effort into it, but maybe like the acting isn't good. I don't know, but it just seems like in general there's like a very negative like viewpoint of like live action anime. So those are like the two things I could think of for why
there's a few different things. Also, it's like there's a lot of wacky stuff that happens in anime, right?
Zany, lots of zany stuff.
Lots of zany, lots of wacky shit. And like, how do you get like a real human body to do some of those things, or like to get like
really bad special effects?
Yeah, exactly. And that's like the other thing. That's like the big thing that people are worried about with One Piece, because One Piece has a lot of wacky shit that happens in it. You know, especially just looking at Luffy's like stretching powers, right?
Inflatable arm tube man. They can just get one of those put on set.
Yeah, how do you make him do all that stuff without it looking bad, but also two, not like diminishing the character?
Dude, I feel like that's like, isn't it like an Incredibles character? Didn't they do? Oh, okay,
yeah,
that's not like real people.
Yeah. That is basically that is basically what you would compare to, or Fantastic Four is the one that I would think of with is it Mr. Fantastic? Is that who it is? The guy in charge of the Fantastic Four, he has like stretching powers similar to that as well.
Wait,
so I think
is it actually Luffy? I thought it was Luffy.
No, it's Luffy.
Oh my god, I've been saying Luffy.
Oh my god,
I'm over it. That's crazy.
But yeah, it's like there's some other stuff that I believe is confirmed. I know Yu Yu Hakusho has something coming out next year, which people are kind of the same like
apprehension
with, especially after Death Note. And we'll talk about Death Note.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
Death Note is probably the most egregiously bad
no.
live action that I can think of.
You have not seen Dragon Ball Evolution, then?
Okay,
Oh my
I have not.
God.
I have not seen the Dragon Ball.
I
live
think
action.
it generally
That
might
is-
be the worst thing I've ever had the displeasure of viewing in my life, even
Why?
below gamers.
What is
Dude,
this?
it's so bad. Okay, so one, they whitewash like most of the cast anyway. Goku is some like random white teen, and
Let's go.
and he's like, he's not Goku. Like, he's a total bitch. And oh my god, they changed the power system to they have bending. They even specifically say the word bending.
Do they actually say? Oh no!
Yeah, and so it's just so bad, and the
So
acting
this
is
is
terrible.
this is where what I was saying, where you have to find the balance between how you make it like possible without looking cringe, but also not shit on the series. Like to me, that's one of those like shitting on the series types of things.
I just think you're down.
Yeah,
God,
Death Note.
it's
I was gonna
so
say
bad.
Death Note.
Death Note is really bad.
Okay,
But Death
so
Note is
there's
also
like a
bad because because Death Note doesn't have a ton of like the wacky shit that's supposed to happen or
there's
anything
like
like
one.
that. Yeah, there is some stuff in Death Note.
No, but
that's,
okay, so
like,
Death Note actually has like a live action like before Netflix, like in 2007 or something. I didn't know that.
There's
yeah.
like 1,000 Japanese adaptations of it. Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. I feel like the Netflix one is obviously like international facing stuff. Is like I've heard a lot of stories about that one not being good at all.
I'm pretty sure the 2006 one people actually kind of like.
They like it.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I just know about the. Yeah,
I don't think I've ever heard like genuine praise of a live adaptation
like,
ever.
within live adaptations. It's not as bad. How about that?
Yeah, like Alita Battle Angel gets like a pass from people for being like good enough or something. That's like the most I've ever seen anything praised on the live action side of things. Usually it's stuff like the reason everyone's scared of Yu Yu Hakusho being trash is Cowboy Bebop got flopped by Netflix apparently. Yeah, it got canceled after one season.
That's the thing. It's kind of the same with One Piece, where it's like, yeah, like One Piece, they're doing everything to make it look like they're putting a lot of love into it, but at the same time, it's still Netflix and it's still a live action.
And like, it's not an anime, but the Resident Evil apparently had a horrible Netflix movie or series rather, and I saw some clips from that, and yeah, it's pretty fucking bad. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's definitely at a point where it's hard to put a lot of faith into a lot of live adaptations.
Yeah, to be honest, changing Light Yagami to Light Turner, a little bit of an interesting change.
Is that a thing they did?
It's an artistic liberty, okay? Like,
yeah, whitewashing is an artistic liberty.
There's also JoJo's that I saw, dude.
Yeah, so there is a JoJo. I mean, like everything has live action basically. There is a JoJo's one. Do I know anyone who's watched the JoJo's one? I feel like I do.
What the fuck,
dude? The guy's hair is like insane.
Bro, the JoJo's one. I can't tell you that it's any good, but props to them for making the characters look like the JoJo's characters.
Dude, the guy's hair is insane. It's actually insane.
Yeah, he's actually got the floop going on.
Yeah. And
fucking airhead coming out of his head.
Yeah. The other one that you mentioned was Assassination Classroom. I watched like a lot of I watched like 3 or 4 clips of that on YouTube. And the guy, what was his name again? I watched like 5 episodes of it. So the
teacher.
I feel like he was animated like okay, like I don't know, like
yeah, I've always heard that this one, Assassination Classroom, is like not the worst live action that people have seen.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen like some clips of it. There's actually some funny stuff. If I remember seeing some of like the funny bloopers and stuff like that. It's just weird because in the case of this one, the teacher is like obviously not live action exactly, but he's CGI'd in or something. I don't know exactly what they use for him, but he's like clearly like animated in some way, which is fine. But then it adds another element that just makes it weird because he almost doesn't feel like he's part of it.
Yeah. I think well, that was a thing that I was thinking of, is like you have like something weird that like has to be animated and it's like put in. So it's like, well, I mean, I think they did an okay job. So it's like that's like one example. But I guess if once you start adding like too many weird things, too many things that are like
too
they
many
have
of
to
those
be animated in
elements
a
that are
weird.
like not
Yeah.
live action.
Yeah, like a Luffy.
Yeah,
Luffy.
that's what I'm
Luffy.
worried about. Luffy specifically, because
Yeah.
they're only for the One Piece live adaptation. They're only adapting like the first the Orange Town saga, which is basically up to when they get to the actual shit. So up to
so it's like,
that
is
point,
it like the first season or whatever?
yeah, basically.
Okay.
So up to that point, I think Luffy is the only like. Now, Luffy's pretty wacky. Buggy's pretty wacky. But I think otherwise, there's nothing like egregiously hard to do outside of live action other than those two characters. Unless I'm forgetting, because they're gonna start off in the barrel. They're gonna go to Zoro arc. Nothing weird there. They're all
Wait, Zoro arc,
everyone.
Like the Pokemon?
Yeah, exactly. At the beginning of One Piece, pretty much most of the people they encounter are like actual, just like humans.
Yeah.
Without a lot of weird shit. So
and the abilities are not like something you can do like with a stunt double or something. So I don't know. I don't know if there's like any parallels in like other movies and stuff like that. But
I think Buggy is going to be the hardest thing for them to do and make it look convincing.
Yeah.
I've also discovered there's a lot of series that have live actions that I didn't know had live actions.
Yeah, and a lot of them are just like one season or something. It's just like they did
Kaguya,
it. I guess
Kaguya has a live action.
Yes, I actually I saw it on YouTube as well.
My Little Monster has one for some reason, which I don't know. It's like it was a one season, and it has more in the manga or whatever, but the anime only ever got one season. I don't know how popular it was. Apparently enough to get a live action adaptation. I wonder if they just do it because it's like easier. It's like, oh, it's just like a romance or whatever, and you just like slap it there.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I've seen this anime?
I'm watching the trailer to the Kaguya one, and it's actually kind of looks like it would be funny to watch. I don't think it looks good, but I think it would be like a fun meme.
Grand
like if you got a group together.
One. I wonder how that movie would go.
I mean, there's nothing in Grand Blue that they couldn't just do on set.
Yeah, but like I feel like it'd be so much worse. Obviously it is as a fucking 5.8 IMDb rating, but
5.8 is above average, bro.
Yeah, it's above 5.
Not too. I'm sorting it by popularity here, and 8 is as high as it goes, and that's for the 2020 Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, Japan. I don't know what that. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it's just the Yu Yu Hakusho one I haven't heard of that came out obviously in 2020, and then it's separate from the Netflix shit that's coming out next year, which is fair.
Yeah, it's only got 39 votes on it compared to some of these others that have like thousands. So I mean, I'm not gonna put too much stock into that, I suppose. Basically, there's never been not even the Japanese think there's been a good fucking live adaptation of anything.
Yeah, that is true. I don't think I've ever heard, like you said earlier, I don't think I've ever heard someone specifically be like, this shit was good at a minimum, like, just a little worse.
Why do they make them?
I think I've always heard that they're like substantially worse. That's what I don't get either. I think it's an attempt to appeal to
a more general audience,
audiences outside of Japan,
maybe
not even necessarily the.
Yeah, but do they do a good job of that? I don't know. Like, how many people actually outside of Japan actually watch these live action?
Japanese, I don't know. Japan doesn't make them for outside of Japan,
right?
So it's like, who in Japan is actually funding these? Who's watching? I guess it might just be like
fans.
No, because Japan's population is like old and dying, and so but they don't die. They like live 1,000 years. So all the old people at the top keep making these live actions because that's what they know. I don't know. They're like, oh, this anime is popular. What if we just like slap a live adaptation over it, and then they lose money? Probably. Well, I don't even think they. I don't know. It depends on the movie. I guess like a slice of life movie probably doesn't lose money.
I don't know how they make money. like how I don't know why it's worth it for them to make them.
Yeah, I've got no clue. Like, surely they can't be making that much money.
Yeah, I think I'm just like wondering like what exactly. I mean, I guess you mentioned some of the limitations. I think one thing that we talked about earlier was like, the thing about like anime that's like good or like that allows it to be like a very effective medium for a lot of stories and things like that is like there's no restrictions on like the type of people you have or like if I want to like conceptualize like a serial TV show or a movie, I have to consider like, okay, I have to like think about like my cast, I have to think about what props I need, what sets I need. Anime doesn't have any of that restrictions. So when you're going to like anime to like a live thing, you're obviously like subject to those restrictions, which is inherently going to make it worse if you think about it, because it's conceptualized inherently for something that doesn't have restrictions. You just draw whatever on the screen, right?
Yeah.
So that could be like a big reason why it's like the live action thing is just like inherently going to be a worse copy of whatever, because the anime is just going to be crazy. Most of them have like some crazy elements, even if they're like slices of life, right? So,
Yeah.
I just assume that's why they're not good, but I don't know.
I mean, I fully agree on that. Like, the reason I watch anime is because it's a storytelling medium that can be utilized like much. Like you said, you don't have like the constraint. Like, Marvel may have to spend like tens of millions of dollars on like special effects, hundreds of millions even, and while anime is just like, all right, just draw it and then you're done, and you don't have to worry. Well, I mean, you have to worry about it looking good, but like generally, like a studio can make something that you wouldn't be able to conceptualize in real life and like put it on a screen, because they can just draw it, and so you have so much more freedom with your storytelling. And so when they try and bring these stories that were made to be not real, and they try and bring them into our reality, it's just like, it's a little goofy. Like, actually, the one thing we haven't mentioned, wasn't Detective Pikachu supposed to be decent?
I was about
Detective
to say
Pikachu
that.
was good, but I don't know. I guess Detective Pikachu counts for this argument.
Sure. I feel like it's kind of like, it's, I don't know, because I feel like I'm surprised we haven't gotten more of those. Like, I feel that's one of the few successful things that have been brought from,
because I guess by that, if we count that, then we also
games and anime.
Sonic's and
Sonic's was nearly
Sonic 2 movie.
a disaster, but then it
was close.
It was close,
and they somehow narrowly escaped.
Like, okay, fine, we'll change the design, and then they did, and everyone's like, all right, this is fun.
But yeah, like if we're counting those, which I guess is fine, I'm down to count those.
Yeah, we gotta get to an hour somehow.
I would say Detective Pikachu was a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
like I watched it in theaters. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I know I didn't watch the Sonic movies. I know a lot of people who watched Sonic 2 specifically and really liked it.
Yeah, I didn't watch Sonic. I watched Detective Pikachu. I think the difference between Detective Pikachu and like other live action films. So the clear like thing about like Pokemon is it's humans living, and then there's like this alternate like thing, like a whatever species or whatever called Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
So like there's always going to be like you're always kind of given a pass when you're using like, I don't know what they use, but like some 3D modeling or whatever. I don't know if it's technically called
CG or whatever.
Yeah. Right. So like you're always given a pass for that, because Pokemon is just like inherent. I've said inherently like 10 times. It's just like a separate species from like the human world. So I don't know whether other anime can like, when they're adapted to live action, can they employ the same thing? Because it's not necessarily like all anime isn't like Pokemon. You don't have like an entirely separate species that the entire series is based off of, right? So you can't really do that.
Yeah, and like the biggest advantage Pokemon had is you don't have to physically change the human body.
Yeah,
sure, that too.
Stuff like that.
I think that's
which
definitely
when you look at like
things.
a JoJo's or a One Piece,
yeah,
a lot of the shonen ones, it's like
you can just have humans and insert Pokemon. That's it. Like that's kind of like quote unquote all you have to do.
A lot of things do go wrong when you have to like change things around people. Like, it's not anime whatsoever, but specifically like Cats from 2019. Like one of the biggest abominations movie screen has ever seen.
Like the adaptation of the Broadway thing?
Yeah, just where everyone's just cats. It doesn't look right because humans aren't meant to be cats. And so Yeah, it's like
Oh god, I just saw screenshots. Ah,
You don't want to see the screenshot.
like, seriously, who films these things? Like, yes, this will sell in theaters. Surely, fuck, put me in an executive job in Hollywood. Fucking damn it, I could make more intelligent decisions. Anyway,
yeah. So that's the thing. It's like those kinds of like costumes and stuff work for like Broadway, but it's just like when you're adapting it to a movie screen, you expect some sort of like realism when it comes to the human thing. If the entire thing isn't animated, like a Pixar film or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's hard. It's hard to do with superpowers. I don't know how well like a slice of life like type thing would go in a movie. It would be kind of hard.
It depends on the
very hard.
If it's a romance, then sure. But like
sure.
Like they had like a Wotakoi live action I saw, and it's sorted by rating. It's on page 2, to say the least.
Okay.
It's like
you also had Nisekoi as well.
Yeah. I just like Wotakoi. It is a romance, but it's not like a plot based one. Like it's just like a slice of life with romance.
They're like in an office or something, right? They're coworkers or something, right?
Yeah, but like they're already like in a relationship, and so there's nothing to really work towards. And so once you, like it's basically just slice. Like, what do you do for the movie? Because there's not really a plot to it. They're just kind of like doing things, and so I don't know how they made a movie out of that. Obviously, it was a bad movie. 5.3 rating, number 101 of 119 titles. So.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking slice of life. It just doesn't have any of that, like, you don't need any like extra like superpowers or anything to do with that. But the thing is, you have to make the story compelling, which I guess is like maybe a problem. It's just
you also have to give me a reason to want to watch it in live action, because like Wotakoi is something that
if you're already
coming to watch Wotakoi if they have not already like seen or read Wotakoi.
Right, but think of it this way, right? Like, actually, that's kind of a bad analogy. I was going to use Harry Potter as an analogy, but that doesn't really work because it's like you're going from like a book to like seeing the actual thing. I'm just like thinking like what would benefit from a live action? Can you answer that question? Can anyone answer that question? I don't know if there's an answer.
Nothing.
Is there an anime that would benefit?
There's nothing that would benefit from a live action. Like we said,
that's a problem.
Yeah. Like we said before this, like what maybe you want to see with a live adaptation. I don't want to see shit with a live adaptation.
Yeah, so like,
I think it'd be kind of funny to see a One Punch Man live adaptation. I don't know. I think that one would be kind of fun.
Yeah, I think,
but like not because I think it would be good. I just think that would be like a fun one. You know what's something I'm surprised they haven't made yet is a Sword Art live adaptation. For how popular Sword Art was,
it'd probably be a bitch to fun
even
though.
Still is. Oh yeah,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, too much work.
Yeah, I would enjoy seeing some sort of movie for some of the anime, but like that, I was just like thinking of some in my head. But it's like, yeah, again, it's just a matter of like actually making it into a movie and just having those resources.
Not even having this where you could have like a cool. There's a universe where you could have a cool like Gochuucast live adaptation.
I would actually really love to see that, but I just think it's just like
I don't think that's been done. I think it's like too hard. So hard. Yeah, I think it's too hard to even like attempt to pull off. But like that's something I could see if it was done well. I would watch this.
I would watch that. I can think of it in my head. I can like visualize it in my head, like how cool it would be. But then I'm just like faced with like the disappointment of like, that's never gonna happen.
I had the worst idea for the live action.
Food Wars. What is it?
Food Wars.
Food Wars live action.
All right.
Oh, wait. Why did I just think of that? Why did I know you were gonna say Food Wars?
We've cooked spaghetti. Now strip.
Bro, Food Wars live action.
Would be quite something.
That would actually be really.
That is the type of thing that everyone in the group take a few shots and then you just watch together in like a group watch and laugh your ass off about just the silly shit going on.
Okay, so yes, the like the food gasms and stuff would be a little bit weird, very weird, not a little bit. But I will say that is an interesting story that I think like potentially could be cool to see. I mean, I've watched like a lot of like food movies about
go watch food. Like MasterChef or something.
No, not like MasterChef. Just like a lot of movies
is a
about
Food Wars live adaptation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
just
down.
I think that kind of stuff can work. It's just like the food gasms and stuff is like it takes it to a level that is probably not gonna work. Definitely not
I
gonna
guess
work.
another one that could work, and I actually could see happening at some point because popularity reasons. Demon Slayer.
I'm fucking surprised it has a Broadway. Is that a live? Do we count that as a live?
Wait, does it actually have a Broadway show? Heck.
Probably like Japanese Broadway or whatever their equivalent is. I know it has like a stage play.
Yeah, okay, I just saw it.
Yeah, I'm surprised it doesn't have a live action. Probably because once again it'd be like a real bitch to make, I suppose. Because
Yeah.
Demon Slayer has like, at the very least, going for it, a visual style
Correct.
that is
Yeah, and I'm
pleasing
not
to
sure
look
how
at.
you would do. Yeah, I'm not sure how you would do all of the visual style and all that without it just being like
Goofy.
10 times worse and goofy. But in theory, like there's nothing in Demon Slayer I could think of that would be that hard.
How do you make?
live
You also
actionify.
wouldn't really have much of a plot because, like, what do? You just like, I guess you just like do one of the seasons, kind of, but
Yeah, you could just do like
speed
season
run it.
one.
You'd have to like, I don't know. They'd have to stop it, I guess, like
That's
halfway
like the
through or something.
yeah.
Or
The
speed
problem
run.
is what they would do is they would do like what they're doing with the One Piece live adaptation. They probably would have a show and not a movie.
Yeah. Well, do they make? They probably make shows. Okay, this
What we
is
see on here is movies, but
it's a controversial one because whether or not it's technically anime or not is up for
Avatar?
high debate. Yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Wait, is it actually Avatar?
Yeah.
does it have a live action?
You all right? So
Yeah, bro.
you haven't finished the original, right? Yet.
I have not.
Okay, so once you go
I'm
do
in
that,
book 2.
stay far away from the live action.
Okay.
Bro, I watched the live
adaptation.
action.
This one
It was-
and don't touch it. Got it.
Like,
dude,
you will fall into alcoholism very quickly. It is so bad. Not Dragon Ball Evolution level, I'll give it that, but it's so bad.
I watched the live action, the movie with the blue people. Yeah, bro. Okay, I'm done.
I just saw a commercial for that during the football
Wait,
game
really?
yesterday. Yeah, so they had a commercial for that during the football game yesterday. Apparently, it's going back in theaters.
No way. The original?
Yeah,
You're
I don't
kidding me.
know. I don't know where, and I don't know like the specifics. They're just while I was
Oh,
watching,
there's a second one, The Way of Water.
yeah, while I was watching Monday Night Football, they were like, "Oh, watch the classic old blue Avatar people movie
I
in
guess
theaters the way it was intended." So apparently, it's re-releasing.
they're probably
Mhm.
doing it because they want to make
'Cause-
more of them.
Yeah,
Which, like, I don't know.
it's also been a while, so they probably want to also like remind people, like, by the way, we're Pog.
Yeah, I don't know. Isn't it like one of the biggest like flukes ever, probably, for like a box office? How many people
Yeah.
actually cared for it?
Avatar?
Yeah, the blue people.
No,
Avatar.
Avatar was like
so many people watched it, and
Yeah, it
I
was really
never
hyped.
heard
Right.
anyone like any real person actually like
Discuss.
super praise it.
Yeah,
no,
one.
because okay,
I
yeah,
saw
it's
a
like
lot
a
of people.
standalone
I
film,
saw a
and,
lot
like,
of people be like, "Oh, it's good," like
Yeah.
just casual.
Yeah, like why
Okay,
did
so,
it
like,
make so much?
Yeah, so the appeal of it at the time was just like the visuals. Like at that time, like at 2009 or whatever, like
That is true.
it was so
It was
revolutionary.
a very.
I'm not a film expert, but like I can tell you, I'd never seen anything like it. And even now, I bet if I watched it now, I'd still think it looks pretty good. Like
Yeah.
13 years later.
I
So
would
like that was like
agree
the big
with
thing. And at the time, it was like very hyped. Like I think almost everybody I knew like saw it, and like at least for like the first week or something after that talked about it. It was just like it's a standalone film without like memorable characters, very very memorable characters. And it's like memorable characters is like a big reason why like you remember something. So that's why like probably why it just didn't have like long lasting like nostalgia or anything connected to it. But I vividly remember like seeing that movie and like being in like legit awe of like what was going on. Just at the time, it was completely revolutionary, and people were very hyped for it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can call it a fluke. It was just like a
It came out at the
thing that
right
happened once.
time.
Yeah, it did come
Yeah,
out
yeah.
at a really good time.
Like
And
that
it
shit would
caught
flop these
people
days.
just right.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of movie would flop, but like you would have to like level it up so much more relative to like what's available now in terms of animation and stuff like that.
I
Like,
can't
it would have to
imagine
be,
it's going to make any like anywhere near as much as the original did,
no,
though.
no. Avatar 2 would have to be like, you would have to
It
be
would
able to like
have to
touch the
be,
characters.
like, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to be do something
It
like
would have
insane.
to be one of just generally the best movies created.
Yeah, it would have to be like
I don't know. I haven't actually, because like when I was a kid, I didn't go see it because I looked at Avatar. I'm like, that's not Avatar: The Last Airbender. What the fuck is going on
My
here?
Avatar.
Why is this motherfucker blue? Yeah, it's just I don't know, but you know, Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's like it's insultingly bad, actually. I think it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah. I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
They change the bending in a way where it's like, I don't know, they try and show off like martial arts when like in the actual show they're like flip a hand or whatever and do the bending. But like,
well, to be fair, that is a thing in like the not necessarily the lore of Avatar, but like
no.
all of the Avatar
you
like
don't
bending
understand.
styles are based off of a martial arts.
No, that's not the problem. Martial arts itself isn't the problem. It's when 10 different earthbenders to lift a single like pebble have to do like a kumbaya dance for 5 seconds
I see.
just to lift and like gently push the rock. It's so bad. I wonder if I can find a fucking gif of it. Let's see.
Yeah. Funny enough, as I've been scrolling through stuff looking for it, I found out that in 2015, a Naruto live adaptation movie was announced, and it has still not happened.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh my god.
It was by Lionsgate,
found it.
and it just kind of just like stalled forever. All right, let's see this.
Just take a look at that. All this to lift like a single fucking rock.
Why are they doing a rain dance? Wait, is that The Rock?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, it's like it's so bad. And the firebenders just stand there. They're literally the only ones who actually no.
Just waiting.
They're waiting to
get hit by it.
In this movie, they have to have fire nearby. So firebenders are literally fucking useless. I don't understand how they took over the world, but they need a source of fire near them to do anything.
Yeah, wait, they can't produce fire. They
can't produce fire.
Get it from somewhere.
They just have to. It has to be like a torch nearby or something.
Is that animal like that big guy? What's his name? Apu or whatever.
Appa,
what's his name?
The bison.
Appa, yeah. Is he in the movie?
Yeah, he's in the movie.
I like that guy.
He's
my favorite. When I watched that show as a kid.
That. Show us Appa.
Yeah, dude, I love that guy.
I don't even remember if
that was legit my favorite character as a kid.
I don't remember if it looked that bad. I don't know if I'm gonna find it in the.
It's fine.
I can Google it. Hold on.
He's so cute in the anime. I like them. But yeah, I think.
Okay, maybe this is worse than I remember.
Oh God.
I think My Hero is confirmed to also get a live adaptation like next year, and given the fact that like one of My Hero's biggest draws in the early stages is how cool like the My Hero world is and how all the people are. Oh no, that's Appa. Okay.
Dude, I hate when I Google it. The fucking first thing is what animal is Appa Avatar based on, as if he isn't a fucking literally called a sky bison.
Yeah.
I don't, whatever. Netflix is making a live action Avatar, which, the original creators were on board for it, but then Netflix is like, what if we like age the characters up and make them have sex? And the original creators said, maybe we won't make this. And so now Netflix is on their own making it. So,
oh God,
that's actually hilarious. Why? My Hero. One of the things that people like the most about My Hero in terms of like design is the fact that all of the humans like look very different from each other, because that's like one of the My Hero things is like, oh yeah, everyone has developed powers to the point that like the physical body has changed. But like a My Hero live action means that it's either going to ignore that entirely or you're just going to see a bunch of deformed humans.
Yeah.
That are probably not going to look good. Not all of them.
I think just doing superpowers or anything like that, it's just so hard. And the thing is, okay, so like when you think of like superhero movies and like the superpowers they have, it's just like, okay, number one, it's like usually a bigger budget.
Yeah.
But like number two, it's just like if you have external things that allow you to manifest the superpowers in something like I don't know, armor or something like that. Something like that makes it a lot easier because you can like use that as a vehicle to do to just like display the superpowers. I think like especially when it comes to like, I mean, I guess you mentioned Luffy, but like other other people with superpowers. It's just so hard to do that without using like computer generated stuff. And I think, okay, I will say I don't think it's wrong to like liberally use those things. But again, like last time we talked about, it becomes very hard when you start using those things, and then you have to blend it in with the human world.
Yeah, this is like, I think it was last week or maybe 2 weeks ago when we had this conversation about CGI in anime. It's like the same argument.
Yeah, it would be the same thing in
live action. The problem isn't necessarily using it.
Yep.
I want it to look good. Like if you give me some CGI and it's garbage, then like I'll notice.
Yeah. I do think it's better to use like live, like actual props, like physical props if you can. Just to, it gives like a proper feel to things. Like I know in
that's one of the things
Jurassic Park, that was like one of the big things, is like all their dinosaurs were like they just straight up built dinosaurs out of, and didn't have to use CGI for any of them.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that with the One Piece show makes a lot of people hopeful, because they built boats and like they have like big sets and boats and all this shit built. That's like the places where all of the stuff's supposed to happen. So it's not like, One Piece scene on the main crew's boat or something is going to take place in like a green screen room and they're just going to make the boat in CGI. No, they have made full-on boats for it. And that's one of the things that makes people a lot more hopeful with the One Piece stuff.
I will say one thing about like live stuff is like often it's easier to like depict scale if you have like a real life reference, like a mountain or like a sea or like, I don't know, anything. In anime, it's like it's 2D, so you have to you have to kind of wrangle with like the issue of like perspective and like how far away the quote unquote camera is from the objects. So I think in like 3D, it's like a little bit easier to like depict like how big or small something is, and for some worlds, it's like a very big thing, right? For like world building and introducing like certain aspects of it. So like in I think that's like one advantage. So I'm not going to say like moving to live action is like inherently bad. It's just there's just a lot of drawbacks. But that's like one pro I can see.
It's easier to think it's bad, but I almost feel like we're not technologically ready for it yet.
Probably not. Yeah.
That's like the sense I get from a lot of these live actions, and I don't know what technologically ready would look like. But just looking at these and looking at the issues a lot of people have with them, it feels like we're just not at the point where, from a technology standpoint, we can capture these stories in the same way that animation captures the
So what you're saying is that in 2030 we'll have Code Geass movie, and it'll be number one,
and it'll be grossing. Maybe.
I don't know about 2040. Maybe 30-40.
Yeah, I am no expert on.
Me neither.
Live action animation and CGI and all that type of stuff. I don't know.
Technology.
I think the one thing that I did like with the style of Detective Pikachu, since we mentioned that, is probably our best example of a good live adaptation, is I felt like Detective Pikachu didn't try too hard to be our world and instead was just like something in between.
Yeah,
like I didn't think the Pokemon were attempted to be too realistic. They just tried to look like something that like feasibly could exist in a world similar to ours.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of these live actions try to be like too in our plane of existence.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest problems with Dragon Ball Evolution, is that, Goku in normal Dragon Ball is like some kid who's in the fucking forest and his grandpa's dead, so he's just all alone. and he has to go on an adventure and do shit, and he grows as like a person or whatever, learning about the outside world. But in Dragon Ball Evolution, it's he is like some random ass high school teen who's a nerd who gets picked on and is trying to get the girl, and then like some Dragon Ball stuff happens or whatever.
Yeah, then
he's like
Goku, and then
now
now
he becomes Goku. Girl. Yeah, and then he gets the girl and all that, and it's like, okay. Like, it's literally just your average, like, I don't know, shitty teen flick, but they got Dragon Ball in it.
Yeah. Whereas like, Detective Pikachu said itself. It was so that was like, this is like our realish world, but also like we've just always had Pokemon here. Like that's just...
Wait, wasn't it in New York or am I tripping?
I think it was something similar to New York.
Because there was like a subway and like there was who was it?
I don't know if it was confirmed.
I don't think they ever straight up called it New
York. I don't
York.
think they ever called it New York or said that it was like
I think it had an actual name. Let me look at it.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
It was definitely like a major city.
Yeah. The only thing that like made me
mad is okay, it's the game. It's probably the same thing in the fucking movie. It was a rhyme city.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't there Torterra in that like fucking the size of the city also?
Yes.
I remember that, and I kind of
that was crazy
because I was like,
no, the thing I didn't like was that there weren't that many
reason
Pokemon.
That it was so big, but
there were like 14 Pokemon, bro. You needed all 800 or whatever.
Well, and I think that was one of those things where it's like
budget.
Technology limit and budget limit.
Dude, so many Sneasels. There were like Sneasels in every part of the city. There were like 15 of them. Like, dude, what is going on?
They got enough money for Weavile, dude.
Yeah, it's like, what are you got, bro?
Not enough. What's the evolved Razor Claw in trade?
Not
enough Razor Claws in the city.
Yeah, I think. But other than that, I thought it was a good adaptation. I thought, well, again, that's like the thing with like superpowers. In addition to like Pokemon being a separate thing, it's like if the superpowers extend from the Pokemon, then like obviously you can just like it'll blend in naturally because you're taking like a computer generated thing and like making
computer generating the effects. Yeah.
That's
with like Full Metal Alchemist, for example. I think had a live action that was pretty not great. But that's like
it's somewhere on the Japanese one.
That's like one of those things where it's like the things that they do in Full Metal Alchemist aren't necessarily like changing the human body in any way. It's more similar to like the Avatar stuff, but it's also like they're probably using real props for a lot of like the gear and stuff like that. And then one of the things in Full Metal Alchemist that happens a lot is they use their alchemy and change like physical objects on them. So like if I have a bracelet or something, I could use alchemy to like turn the bracelet into a small dagger.
So looking at the IMDb ratings here, the Full Metal Alchemist adaptations, the first one is number 99 of 119 movies at a 5.3 rating. And then I'm guessing this was the sequel.
There's like a new one.
It's 84 out of 119. Yeah, it was 2022. Yeah. 5.7 rating. Did not do too hot, it would seem. The fucking gap between these. The first one was made in 2017. Why are they like getting off their ass now and be like, you know what? We need to make a sequel to that one. That was a banger. Our big 5.3 rated. I don't know.
There are some of the high rated ones on here. Erased is number 3.
Wait, that is okay. Hold on.
Erased, for one, Erased has a live adaptation. 2, it's a Netflix adaptation.
Yo, wait, 7.8 on.
But yeah, it's a 7.8.
7.8. I like how
mediocrity almost want to watch this.
Like,
I almost want to watch this.
Yeah, 7.8 being top 3.
Well, this is probably
crazy.
Like Japanese Netflix. I don't think you're gonna be.
This is probably Japanese Netflix.
This is definitely Japanese Netflix, actually.
But it's got like
maybe
almost 4,000 votes on it, which compared to the other stuff up here, that's like a lot.
Yeah,
maybe
because the other stuff up here is like less than 100.
Yeah, dude, this actually looks pretty good. Oh my god, I almost want to watch this.
Here. Yeah, here's all the Rurouni Kenshins.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather waste my time with like a mid-anime than a really shitty live action.
I would probably rather watch Orient than anything on this live action list.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, I don't even know. What can I even say about it? Orient has Rie Takahashi. That's all I can give it. And there's like
I think
a really
from everything I've seen, the character designs in Orient look good.
And there's like a really Mickey Mouse like romance plot going on right now that if it doesn't come to fruition, then I'm giving it a 2. The season 2 is like a solid 4 right now. If I don't get what I want, even though it's like it's horribly done, it's terrible even, but I want it to happen just because I'm a romance fiend or whatever, and so I will afford it a 4. Give me something to work with.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret. It's not gonna happen. It's from the same writer as Magi. There's no romance plotline to be had.
Yeah.
Just gonna spoil that for you right now.
I mean, they were pushing it kind of hard, but like I think one is gonna think one thing, but the other will not reciprocate, or at least like not even like acknowledge it.
It's kind of how Magi was, where there wasn't really a romance plotline with the main characters in Magi, but it was like one of those things where it was like one of them was kind of into the other, but also not in like a I need to get with them way, and the other was just like combat fiend, doesn't even think about stuff like that.
Yeah, Orient live action adaptation would actually be pretty cheap to make. You have one set and it's just fucking red rocks everywhere. And
yeah, you just go into the middle of a desert and film everything.
Middle of a desert, maybe like a little like special effects make the sand red. Maybe put a few rocks everywhere. And congratulations, you have completed the Orient set. Just red rocks everywhere. Maybe some water whenever you're near the ocean or whatever, but other than that, I don't know, dude. I swear to God, if this gets a season 3, I will find the nearest cliff and jump off.
You'll drink a glass of water.
I will drink a glass of water. Yeah.
Doesn't Tokyo Avengers have a live action?
Yes.
Surely that one can't be that bad.
It's above average.
All they do in Tokyo Avengers is beat the shit out of each other.
I'm sure it's like, I don't know, dude, because like Tokyo Avengers like so like, you know, over the top dramatic. That's another thing that does not translate to like the like like anime is like it's over the top, but it works, right? Live action
like,
it's just not gonna work. That's why anime dubs are bad.
I can imagine taking like Kuroko and how dramatic they are in Kuroko and then translating it to a live action like basketball movie and then having them be the same amount of dramatic, but they're real people.
And how do you do like the like someone gets crossed and you just like think about it in slow motion for 5 seconds? Like, oh what just happened? Oh my god!
You can do that. That has to exist.
That'd be like, so awful in like a live action.
Live action Kuroko. It sounds funny. Like I would watch it with the group. That's like the consensus I'm getting from a lot of these. Is some of these I'm like I would watch this with the group just to
exists already. It's called the NBA.
Yeah,
it's just like hate watching it. It's like The Room. You're not watching it for a good movie. You're watching it to make fun
of it.
The
Room. Oh my gosh.
The Room. When's The Room anime adaptation?
Kingdom has a live adaptation. That's interesting. So my problem with Kingdom.
As long as fuck, how do they make a movie?
I don't think we've ever talked about Kingdom on this. I have a lot of Kingdom opinions because I feel like Kingdom has like every adaptation and like animes and so many things, and everyone talks so good about it. And I've never actually seen anyone give a shit about any of its adaptations except for the manga.
I know I talked about this with someone recently. Maybe it was Ajax. I can't remember. I talked about Kingdom with someone. Maybe it was on this podcast. Who knows?
It could have. Yeah, it could have been us.
It might have literally been last week, and I would have be completely unsurprised. But yeah, it's like it has generally like highly rated anime adaptations, but I would rather. It's like 500 chapters or some shit right now. I would rather just read it probably than anime.
Yeah, Kingdom has like this big cult following. And it looks like something I would probably enjoy. But then it also has like, I don't know, just 50 million different adaptations of like every part. And outside of the manga, everyone seems to have the consensus of like they're kind of mid. It's kind of like how I feel about Berserk, where like Berserk is a good story, but it's also like there's so many different ways.
How has Berserk not gotten a good anime adaptation? Like, I mean, surely there's got to be someone out there who's like,
isn't the 90s one kind of decent? It's just
I think it's supposed to be decent, but like, how did like what was it, 2016? I think it was.
Yeah, the 2016 one.
How does that one even get made? yeah, I've seen the CGI from so bad. I can probably find a gif of it pretty easily. Berserk 2016. Yeah, like this is probably the one I see the most. It's just so. Who makes these? Who looks at Berserk and is like,
Yo, this is a Ruby.
Yo, this is Ruby. This
In an
does look
episode.
like Ruby.
This is Ruby. Wait, the anime for that ended, which I guess I don't know. Maybe next week we do. We look at the next season and talk
Look at
about
the next
the
season?
current
Yeah, we can do
season. Because Ruby anime did end. It was pretty mid. Outside of like some action sequences. And by some, I mean the first 3 episodes had good ones, and then nothing happens for 7 episodes.
The part that wasn't new content.
And then it gets to the end of the new content, and it's got like one like pretty cool fight scene. And then there's like a throwaway fight scene that a lot of people liked in like the original Ruby or whatever, that they adapted into a good fight. I say good fight. It means fucking nothing. It's just flashy color. It's just flashy colors. Literally adds nothing to anything, but it was animated really well.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with like when you posted this like 3D thing. It's like that's the thing about Ruby that like I just could not get into. It just looks like a GameCube game. Like,
yeah, like just people.
Actually,
Like,
what
I'm
it-
think back in its day when it was made, it was cool. But like nowadays, I look at it, I'm like, why the fuck would I ever watch this over?
it's so like
It does 100% look like it's just a GameCube game.
yeah, I just could not like.
I'm going to be
Pixar
completely
looks
honest.
better.
GameCube game probably looks better than that. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom probably had better graphics than this Berserk
No cap,
2016.
no cap.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay, Battlefield Bikini Bottom is just like more fluid. That's like the thing about it. It's like so much better.
Yeah, but Battle for Bikini Bottom is also one of the greatest creations of our generation.
It
So,
is
it is pretty
one of
basic.
the greatest
It's pretty
games of all time.
That's true. It is one of the games of all time. I mean,
It's the
it's-
second
it's
best
really-
game ever, in my opinion.
behind what? Minesweeper?
Behind the Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PS2.
Yo, Beast! Oh my god, I love that game. I love that game. I played that so much as a kid. That's a nostalgia hit. I need
Yeah,
it.
that game fucking slapped. Like they'll never that they're
I know
just
my friends
they don't make them like they do these days.
They don't.
They really
don't.
don't.
Like that.
Oh, Battlefront's crazy.
It was just such a fun multiplayer. There's so much shit to do.
Yes.
Like I don't know, whatever. The childhood I'll never get back. But
You will. You will. You can get it back. You can
we
get
can
it
get
back.
it
I'm
back.
so happy.
my
This is very
PS2 is
off-topic.
obliterated, and so
Very off topic, but I'm happy. Lugia has watched the first episode of Keijo. Let's go.
are you fucking kidding me? He spun World End on his wheel. That's gonna. He said, "I'll watch one anime before this," and he watched Banished Hero. I'm like, all right, understandable. He liked the opening song, and so he watched that. But now he's gonna watch Butt Sumo before his wheel spin.
Because they keep telling him he needs to watch it.
I swear.
Keijo just has so many like fun references in it, and it's you can't take Keijo seriously. That's
You're right. I
required.
can't take it seriously.
If you try and take it seriously, you will be miserable, and I don't know why you even started it if you're trying to take it seriously. But if you don't take it seriously, Keijo's like really fun for no reason.
I mean, it's Butt Sumo. I don't know what else to. There's nothing I ever expected to gain from it.
Anyway, I just had to share that news because that's hype.
Keijo is an anime.
It is one of the
Keijo,
anime of all
One
time.
of the anime of all time. Truly.
It is an anime.
God, I'm like,
Keijo live action?
I'm
Keijo
looking
live
through
action?
the fucking live action list now, and I see this Parasite one. This dude, the eyeball on this dude's hand looks like they just like glued like a googly eye on it.
Yeah, so some of these I look at, and I look at even just the attempts of what they try to do on the posters, and it's like, yeah, you should have just tossed this away during.
How do you like
When you
feel
talk
as
about
like an author and you see your work in a live
and you
action?
see your work made like this.
It's like the only thing worse would be like getting your work made like X-Arm, and that's like the only worse fate is getting X-Armed. Because like the X-Arm like manga actually had pretty good
Yeah.
art from what I've seen, but then that happened, and so it's like
So it's just GG'd.
it's just GG'd. It'll never see the light.
I hate this GIF. Can you not post this again, please?
Well, you don't want to stare at it for hours.
No! It's so
He's gonna
stupid.
be staring at it all night tonight.
Oh my god, I hate this guy. This is stupid to walk. Ugh.
How does Attack on Titan have like 3 live actions? By the way,
I didn't even know that.
I mean,
actually.
it's like really. I've seen clips from it. It's like really just CGI based. It's like all CGI, dude. CGI green screens, and then like they throw people in there. It's I mean, it was popular, like very popular. It's got its own theme park
Attack
ride.
on Titan, of course, it's popular.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
That's why I bring up stuff like Demon Slayer, because it's like even if your Demon Slayer live adaptation is mid, like people will probably watch it because it's Demon Slayer.
yeah, like Japan, like especially like they have fucking Attack on Titan statues in places, like
Which
they
about things coming out at
it's
the
so
right
ingrained
time.
in their culture.
Yeah. Talk about things coming out at the right time. Demon Slayer came out at a point where we were starved for anything in that genre. In
Demon Slayer was like, I'd have to like look back, I guess, but it was at the start of. I feel like every year there's been like one anime that just fucking explodes, and so it's been like. In 2019 was Demon Slayer, 2020 was Jujutsu Kaisen, 2021 Tokyo Avengers, and then 2022 it's gonna be like Chainsaw Man is probably.
I hate that I have to agree with Tokyo Avengers being the one that exploded in 2021 because that's true, but also a little painful.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I feel like it's so we're definitely at a point where there's something's going to explode every year, and it's gonna get. Like it's usually just going to be a shonen or whatever because that's what it's like the easiest for people to get into.
I feel like Chainsaw Man is inevitable, but I don't understand
Chainsaw
Man hype.
I mean, I haven't read it or anything.
To be totally honest,
I mean, I doubt you've read it either.
I haven't read it, no. Which is part of the reason why it's like
the author is like
understand.
highly regarded as like a really good fucking author, and so I assume the writing has to be good in some level. It kind of looks like, at least like the start of it is basically just like, it's basically Jujutsu Kaisen, but this guy can turn into a chainsaw, from what I can tell. But I guess, I'll have to see. All right. Obviously.
Well, maybe that's why I just doubt the writing because it like
it's in shonen.
I've never heard that it's written particularly good, other than people say like the writer, right? But I've never heard anyone like specifically saying like, yeah, this is so well written. I've just heard people be like, yeah, Chainsaw Man's pog, woof 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 woof.
Okay.
And that's like the Chainsaw Man fan base.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I guess we will see in less than a month. Obviously, is when it'll start.
Yeah, I haven't decided if I'm going to give it a try next season or not. It probably depends.
I would imagine there's no reason not to.
Yeah, it probably depends on how the adaptation is treated.
Yeah, there's gonna be
by people.
There's gonna be the 12 endings or whatever. So you're gonna watch it through AMQ one way or another. So
yeah, but AMQ is shit, and I always have to keep my audio, or not my audio, my visuals off, so I won't watch.
I'm like slowly being crushed under the weight of all the fucking Bang Dreams and idol anime that exist. Like, even once I catch up, I feel like I'm gonna fall behind even more.
Today was rough, though.
Today was so rough. I've never had like a rougher stretch of games. Like,
this is very off topic, but yeah, today we were playing AMQ earlier, and there was a round where out of 20 songs,
it had to be like
9 of them.
Dude,
9 of them
it had to be more than 9. It had to be like in over 10. Well over half of them were like idols and Bandori. I'm like, I can't
idols
handle
overall, there probably was 11 or 12.
It was unbearable. I have watched School Idol Project Season 1 and Season 2. Soon gonna watch the movie. I have to finish, I'm finishing Breakwater right now. I'm halfway through that. And then I gotta watch the Nisei Monogatari. And then I watch the movie. And then that'll be one infinity stone into the gauntlet of fucking like 20 different stones. It's gonna be.
Bro, it's a big gauntlet, yeah.
And even once I finish it, how am I gonna remember where all the songs come from? There's no way.
I can recognize. The problem I have is like I watched a lot of them without the intention of like knowing songs or anything.
Like I know where the voices come from. I can tell when it's Poppin' Party. I can tell which fucking Bang Dream it's from. There's like 20 of them.
That's the worst part. Bang Dreams are the worst one because there's so many different answers in Bang Dream, and like just knowing that it's a Bandori band is like the first step.
There's too many. There's Bang Dream. There's Bang Dream second season. There's Bang Dream third season. There's Poppin' Dream. There's
Film Live,
second stage, and that's just all the Poppin' parties. And there's like 10,000 other bands. I gotta remember all these fuckers. It's just, oh my god. Anyway, that was very not on topic. It has nothing to do. I'm surprised.
It's interesting to see you guys like get mauled about like a random like.
I love Bandori. I'm not malding. I would make a joke about how they should make a Bandori live action, but all of the Bandori, like a lot of the Bandori bands, yeah, like half of the Bandori bands also perform live.
Yeah, I think like even for actual, like the idols, I think they do it live as well. So they already have a live action.
Yeah, exactly. There's no need to live action any of my idol or like those types of shows because it basically happens.
Yeah, live action Awashi is just soccer.
Awashi's so good.
One episode left. I'll maybe read the manga afterward.
Please read the manga afterward. If you like it at all, I beg you, because the manga is so good.
It's like 300 chapters though. That's a fucking what's it called? That's a commitment to make.
Yeah, but I want to say the anime.
If it's been like faithful enough, I could
like
probably
a good like 70. You could from what I've seen, and I'm behind on Awashi anime at the moment, but everything I've seen through the portion that I've watched, which is the majority of it, it's pretty faithful. I haven't seen anything that's egregiously like you could not watch this.
Yeah, but I just want to get to the point in it where it's not like fucking Aoi's powers are like Hana Pussy proximity activated or whatever, and he can just like play soccer on his own.
Yeah, that's why you read it. Don't worry, that'll come.
It's like the one gripe I had with it. He's like, you can tell like when things are gonna happen. Like, yeah, I know this motherfucker. Like, he's just like, oh, I'm gonna go for the ball. Like, yeah, your eyes aren't lighting up. I know you're not gonna do shit.
I know you're not gonna get it.
I know you're not gonna be doing anything. Your eyes aren't in fucking anime mode. Sorry.
That's funny.
Oh yeah,
I've never really thought about it that way with Awashi, but that's not inaccurate.
It's true. It's so true. I think the one that pissed me off the most is when he's like, he hasn't done shit like all game, and then Hannah comes up and he's like, go 33, and he's like, oh, and they just fucking activate like,
and he turns up.
maybe like only activates if he has like a boner acted. Like, I don't know, dude.
I will say he does get not Hannah dependent as the series goes on.
Anyway, we can talk more about it probably next week.
Off or next week when we talk about seasonals to fill the time, because it is a seasonal that will come up next week, surely.
All 2022.
Which means I gotta do my best to crack through all of these seasonals I'm behind on, because I am behind on almost all of them. I'm caught up on Extreme Hearts, Shadow's House, and Danmachi 4. And everything else that I'm planning to watch this season, 6 or 7 episodes back.
Yeah, it's a chore, for sure. I've thankfully kept on top of my seasonals this season.
I've just had too many things. Like, I'll finish them because I think every show that I have on the seasonals list is something that I like actually enjoy and want to finish. But it was just too much this season with like how all of like real life stuff happened too.
Yeah,
I just kind of got like dunked on by my seasonals.
Need to finish the Cyberpunk one, I guess, by next week. I should easily have it done, and then more of my seasonals will have wrapped up by next recording session. So,
speaking of which, good time. All right, heads or tails, Daniel?
Oh my God.
Okay. What is this for? What are the stakes for? Is it
your life? $10,000.
Okay, what is the downside?
If you win, it will be the first thing I watch of my seasonals catch up.
So the last time I did this, I picked tails twice in a row, and it failed both times.
Yeah, surely. I am not giving you a downside today, though. Last time I gave you a downside. Today it is just a flip. If you miss it, there's no negative.
I'm going tails. Surely it can't be heads 3 times in a row. It's heads.
It was heads. All right, and with that, I
am going to go find the nearest bridge and promptly relieve myself of
In a video game.
living activity in a video game. Of course, I would never do that.
Video game.
Yeah, I'll do it in Minecraft. Go like find the nearest like
Let's
ravine
go.
to jump in. Yeah, that has been Gochuucast episode 20. Yeah, I guess the end wasn't really about live action adaptations, but like I'm gonna be completely fucking honest, no one cares about live action adaptations. We've determined that today. Not even the Japanese care about their own live action adaptations. So
Maybe the
why
One
should
Piece
we?
one will be good, Cope.
Yeah, massive copium. I'm gonna be honest. Netflix's track record, you have no fucking chance. But we have a great track record of posting banger episodes every Saturday at usually 3 p.m. except for that one time we don't talk about. And so you should subscribe to this channel and come view next week's episode as well, where we've, I guess, already revealed that we will be talking about our seasonals that we all watch, and look into next season as well. Potentially, I guess it depends on how deep the conversations get with some of the other shows, but if you're listening on audio and you'd like to come to YouTube, you can find us at Is the Order Anime Podcast, just like our audio-only name. If you're on YouTube and you'd like to listen to the audio-only, our Anchor link is in the description, where you can find all the appropriate platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, etc. Rate us 5 stars on audio-only. That'd be fan-to-be-tastic. Get us up in the searchability, the findability, I guess. Discoverability, that's the right word. And yeah, I hope you will tune in for next episode. Goodbye.